All right, guys, welcome back here to the Breakdown Sportscast YouTube channel. Got another preview for you guys in the ACC. We are going to talk about the NC State Wolfpack. Interesting team, Chris.
hmm
NC State, definitely has caused fits for a lot of teams on certain nights. But this year indeed, 2026, they're bringing back some really good talent for the Wolfpack. This is going to be another year for them to prove their worth in the ACC, Chris. So some big games, indeed, some good talent being brought into this program. What are we looking at in terms of 2026 for the NC State Wolfpack?
Man, it's a wide open season. This is the theme of the ACC. It's anybody's game, anybody's world to kind of make that leap. And NC State is a team, a program, Kory, that I feel like they've been really money with some evaluations. I mean, I know it's a new year. We're talking about the 2026 version of this team, but they've hit on guys. But they've lost him though. You hit on Hollywood Smothers. Now he's gone off to play football at Texas. You hit on a Kevin Concepcion, and he's now going to the NFL after having a good season with the Aggies over at Texas A&M. Um, but you bring back for 2026 your main man, your head guy, CJ Bailey. Someone that has flashed talent, is a really good player. I think is one of the more underrated players in this league, Kory. Great size. I'm sure he's in the weight room as we speak, continuing to get builder. He's a younger player, building to his frame. He's someone that if NC State has a big year, CJ Bailey is leading the charge. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the reason why if they break that ceiling and have the kind of season that Wolfpack fans hope for, it's because CJ went stupid this year. And he had a great season last year. Threw for over 3,000 yards, nearly 69% completion percentage. I believe had 25 touchdowns as well. CJ Bailey's the real deal. So you bring in some talented receivers in the portal. You bring in a trader from Miami. Um, so you bring in some good guys there. You bring in Vanderplug from Oregon at tight end, Kory. Um, Oregon's been producing some really good tight ends. I think Plug will be somebody that you'll hear the fans chanting his name, Plug, as he gets first downs. So I think that's a solid, dependable weapon that you're going to bring into this offense. So I like the makings of this team. You don't have a lot of it's not a lot of highly touted guys for you. That's your high end 4 stars or 5 stars that you're going to see. But NC State is just another one of those programs that I feel like has been able to excel around the margins and find guys. And so it's just a matter of who's going to break out and be that next guy, that next kind of Hollywood Smothers, that next kind of Concepcion, and be able to really help be that marquee weapon for Bailey to take this team to the levels they want to reach.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Chris. Yeah, I think this team has what it takes to, really become a better football team. Led by Dave Doran. Dave Doran, he's a really good coach, and I think he's showed it the last couple of years. The talent, like man, different teams have come in and siphoned poor Dave Doran's talent. it just shows, the job that he's done, man. It kind of makes you wonder, Chris, if you kept, guys like Concepcion and Hollywood Smothers and then like all of this great talent, like man, we're
Oh
probably
yeah,
talking about NC State being a real legitimate threat. I
like a
still think
known
they are.
threat. Yeah, like we think they very much are right, but like it would be well known around the landscape if they had those guys for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, it's just a testament of what he's done at NC State during the time of him being there. And yeah, just he's been really good at cultivating talent. Like me and you talked about it off the air, Chris. I look at NC State almost the same way as I look at Mississippi State. We've seen how Mississippi State over the years, even before this whole NIL era in college football, of them being um, the team, the brand that really brings in a lot of that middle tier 3-star, probably fringe 4-star talent, and actually cultivating that talent, keeping those guys there that want to be there to become a lot better than what a lot of the national media and recruiting pundits may have looked at a lot of this talent, and they
Hmm.
play up to their opponents year in and year out. Granted, Mississippi State is took a little time to get back to that, but you pretty much know my
Hmm. Hmm.
catch my drift on all of that. I think this team, um, you can look at some of their flaws, but all intents and purposes, they have really showcased that they can hang with some of these teams that year in and year out in the ACC. So yeah, I think you're right, Chris. Yeah, looking at a guy like CJ Bailey, being back in the fold for NC State only bodes well for NC State, and having some of these players that have come into the program, like Plug, you said, I think that's also going to help this team as well. So yeah, I'm interested uh, with what NC State is selling me in 2026, Chris. Chance Robinson, wide receiver, transferred out of Miami. He's in this program. So
Hmm.
yeah, I think if they can just put this all together, along with Trader, like you mentioned earlier, if they can put this talent together, I think they're gonna have a heck of a season in 2026. So we'll see what happens, Chris. But in terms of their schedule, we'll look at that real quick before we head out of here.
Yeah.
Um, August 29th, you're taking on
Overseas, right?
Virginia. I
This,
think,
let me see.
yeah,
Where's this game at? It's not your average neutral site game. Am I tripping? Is that game in? I said
it's in
overseas, but
Brazil.
is it Brazil? Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So already we stepping out.
We're going to
It,
Central America.
yeah, stepping out of Central America, on a random Saturday. So hey, look, I'm all for it. Look, I won't I won't deny some good football on that day. So and yeah, I think that'll be a big game indeed, Chris. To see who's going to come out of that game on top. So
Yeah.
that's a early season ACC matchup, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it counted as an ACC game? You remember there was a game last year. I feel like a couple ACC teams played, but they didn't actually count it as a conference game.
Hmm.
Is this one of those? I'm not sure if it is or isn't,
I mean, it
but
kind of has to be, doesn't it?
you
I
would
mean,
think.
yeah, you got Virginia and NC State, both teams in the ACC. You
You
want to
would
start
think.
off?
I've
Yeah.
seen some crazy things. This is the NCAA we're talking about. Because I feel like Virginia had a game kind of like that last year where it didn't I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly. There was somebody that had a game where it was like, why didn't that count? But it didn't count.
Yeah, I mean, I have to look into that, but
But
right
that's
now I
the
feel like that's.
that's a big game though for both teams. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, NC State, if you again tone setter, you want to have a big season. They're over under 1.5. Win total is 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have a big season. You want to reach 7 wins or more. Get around that 8 win mark. You got to beat Virginia. You got to beat Virginia this one. So random city going all the way to the country of Brazil, but we'll see if they can get the win in that one. They do play App State as well. That's the
Mm-hmm.
game I feel like you need to win. You play Vandy.
That's an interesting game.
It's a very interesting game, especially when you know who your quarterback is. Vandy's they lost Diego Pavia.
Yep.
They're in a transition. We're going to see if it ends up being what Curtis, the young kid, the
Yeah.
5-star kid.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see, and we'll see if he's ready. But you know who you have, so that's a very interesting game, Kory. That's one to keep bookmarked. You're gonna want to watch that one because it's easy to assume, especially with how Vandy's been the last couple of seasons. Oh yeah, Vandy got that. Not so fast, my friend. Not so fast. We'll shout out to Lee Corso. We'll see how that one plays out. That's a definitely one to keep your eye on.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I was gonna get to that Vandy game, Chris. I'm just like looking at it, just salivating right now. Oh man, look! By the time we get to September the 19th, which is that game, man, it's gonna be like looking at one of those sizzling steak plates.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's gonna be
Applebee's
one of
meal.
them fajita plates.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you
yeah,
go. There you go. So
yeah.
hey, I'm definitely gonna be ready to watch that game. And yeah, yeah. Uh, this one's a good one, Chris. October the 30th, which is a Friday, versus Cal.
Those
Cal.
Friday ACC games, man. Boy, it's going to be on and popping every Friday in the ACC.
Yeah, yeah. Look, that's a tough game for Cal. And look, they got to travel cross country, take on NC State. Yeah, yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one. So, look, seeing Sagapula Tele versus CJ Bailey. Yeah,
Yeah,
look, sign me
sign
up.
me up.
Put
Sign me up.
put that on my plate. I'll take that for a Friday night. Oh man, then yeah, yeah, you got November the 21st at Florida State, and November the 28th to cap off the season at North Carolina. So yeah, man, there's some games here and there. And they even mentioned the Duke game on November the 6th, which is also a Friday. Two Friday
Mm-hmm.
games. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
technically, they're back to back to back with Friday games, Chris. I don't know what it is with ESPN and punishing North Carolina State and their people, but man, you get the trifecta of Friday
Man,
games.
I feel bad for the high school teams in the area around there. Boy, them boys can get no love
Yeah,
on
I
Friday
know,
night,
right?
man. Everybody going to the NC State game.
Yeah. Like, come on. What is this? Oh man. So hey, who knows? We might get into a situation where NC State might be balling, Chris, and every Friday night is gonna be a shindig.
Yeah, yeah.
So hey, look, ESPN they wanna throw some stones on poor NC State. And you better watch out. They might surprise you. So
Yes, sir.
but yeah, man, it's gonna be an interesting year for NC State. Can't wait to see what Dave Doran and Wolfpack do in 2026. Indeed.